Sup fams, welcome to my 40th anniversary review of Friday the 13th, 1980. Coming up right now, and I hope you guys enjoy the show. Alright, quiet on set. Scene 1, take 1. Action. Friday the 13th is directed by Sean S. Cunningham and it stars Betsy Palmer, Adrienne King, and Kevin Bacon in his first ever film role. Just to name a few. So the story goes about is a bunch of camp people teenagers I assume, trying to train to become camp counselors while Camp Crystal Lake tries to reopen after such a cursed legacy of tainted water, killings, and a boy named Jason drowning. So, well, as they are opening the new Camp Crystal Lake, as they're getting ready and set up and just vibing, they each, one by one, they're getting killed by this unknown killer. Oh yeah, by the way, spoilers, mind you. So let me just get on to what I didn't like of this film, and is the reveal of, well, I'm mixed about it, but it is actually the reveal of the killer, which we never see this character till the very end of the film as that person is getting revealed. And that person happens to be Pamela Voorhees, Mrs. Voorhees, a lady that we never see aside from her first person view as she's killing her victims. We never know who she really is until the very last minute. And as much as I do like that too, I love Pamela, Miss Voorhees. I just wish that they could have at least shown a bit of glimpse, or maybe she could have had like a line of dialogue or two in the beginning, as there's this character that's trying to get to Camp Crystal Lake. She could have been in the diner scene, and then as she's acting in the restaurant, it's like, oh, like, I'll take you, dear, or most like, oh, they're gonna open up that Camp Crystal Lake again. Oh, and the pacing, as much as I do love the ominous pacing of the film, as much as I appreciate the slow build, sometimes it just gets too slow and the film just kind of drags and gets boring a bit, because the characters can be uninteresting at some points. Actually, they're interesting until third act. That's when they start losing interest a bit. Around the end of the second act, they start to lose a bit of interest. Like, they become just blah. But what can you do? It's a horror film, or actually no, horror films actually held them up to a higher standard. So yeah, that is actually my criticisms for this film. Now let's get on to the praises. Of course, like I said, the ominous, the atmosphere and the build up to Camp Crystal Lake. I just love how in this film it does seem calm at first, but as it gets dark and nighttime, you just get nothing but a sense of dread, aside from Mrs. Voorhees stalking her killers. And I love how when you don't see Mrs. Of course, you don't know who the killer is, but I also love that scene where the first victim, she's running away in the woods from the killer, and as the killer loses sight, you can see the killer's legs just really moving in the direction where, oh, I can just get this person from the other side. I actually like how realistic that is. I also love this first person perspective of the killer, Mrs. Voorhees, just stalking at her victims. It's just cool as hell. And yeah, I do like the character. I like, of course, Adrienne King's character, Alice Hardy, and I also love Kevin Bacon and this girlfriend character. I wish I remember their names, because as much as I've seen this movie a bunch of times, I don't know why I keep forgetting names, but they're actually a nice realistic couple. You can tell that even though they fool around, they do take their job serious, and they're such likable characters, and it sucks to get them killed off, especially when Kevin Bacon is the arrow through the neck. It's such an iconic scene. Yeah, I think I remember this is Paul character, he's a funny guy, and he's very funny, but sometimes he can get unnecessarily funny. But hey, I like his character. He's really nice. I forgot this other character. She gets killed by arrows. Well, you don't really see it because they cut away from it, but she was actually nice. Every character, just even this guy that plays Steve Chris, he was really nice. And the dude that plays Crazy Ralph, you're doomed. You're all doomed. Really creepy, actually. Ooh. And the kills are pretty nice. And I also love if you're ever gonna watch Friday the 13th, I recommend the unrated uncut version, because that's the way it's intended. The Tom Savini's makeup effects is just so cool. The gore is really nice. Well, it's not as gory. It's very tame by today's standards, even they say so themselves, but I really enjoy them. I also like how creative the kills get. Oh, the score by Harry Manfredini is awesome. I just love that score by Harry Manfredini. It's iconic, and it's just great. And he also created the whole it's mostly just kill and mama, and he just cuts those in half, and he just creates this awesome sound effect. It's just cool. That's when you know the killer's around. So that's great. Of course, Betsy Palmer, Mrs. Voorhees, she is actually, I find her scary. She's actually extremely scary. When she seems like a sweet middle-aged woman at first, like, oh, she's gonna help you, but then she talks about her son Jason, and then she basically says, oh, you're the one that killed him, and she just snaps, and holy crap, she's just terrifying, especially when she goes into the duality mode where she just goes, kill her, mommy, kill her. I won't, Jason, I won't. Oof. Oh no. Nah. And when she gets her head cut off, I'm just like, holy crap, that was intense. That one scene where she fights Alice at the end of during the climax, man, I'm glad Alice got that machete and just chopped her head off. Ugh. And let's talk about the ending. Amazing, iconic ending. Just like the Carrie jump scare ending, I love this jump scare where you just see young, dirty, leaf-looking corpsey boy Jason just leaps out of the water. When you think that it's all over, Alice is just in a canoe boat and she's like, oh, the cops are here. She's looking all calm, and I don't know, we see Jason just grabbing her, like just pulling her down under the water, the lake, and ooh, and then she wakes up. It's just a dream. I actually do believe it's a dream, even though Jason is dead. Well, he's not intended to be the killer of the mascot of the killer of the franchise. It still feels terrifying that, hey, maybe he's not dead, but it's a dream. I do believe it's a dream, even though she's but he's still there. And then you see at the last shot of the film, you see the lake, you see little things moving around a bit. But what I think is that in part 2, that's when Jason becomes a killer. So in this first movie, spoiler if you guys don't know, Jason is not the killer. Everybody knows, oh, Friday 13, Jason. No, Jason's not the killer. This is his mom, Mrs. Voorhees, Mrs. Pamela Voorhees. He doesn't become the killer to the next one. So when he becomes a killer in part 2, he's already a grown man, and also it's a year after the first one. So what I believe in that whole story where in the second one, I think they say that either he came back from the grave or he basically washed out. He survived this drowning and he just lived as this feral person in the woods. Then again, why didn't Pamela find him? But yeah, overall, it's a solid film. I do love how solid it is. It has likable characters most of the time, creative kills, a great score, ominous and scary atmosphere, and a great ending, a great jump scare. So if I had to rate this film, I'll just give it rated a 4 out of 5 stars. It's, in my opinion, still a classic, even though I have my issues with it, but still, classic. So that is my review for Friday the 13th. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you share with your friends. And make sure you guys hit that bell for notifications. So this is Javi from Javi Production signing up, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show.